Are we good to go?
Yes.
Yeah. Um, well, so to all those people who are joining us right now, just to keep us all on the same page, welcome to this virtual session. I'm Janvi Sunaya. I'm a journalist. I'm currently working with Divya Bhaskar as a features reporter. And today I'll be doing an interview for Ahmedabad Book Club, ABC, which is one of the oldest book clubs of Ahmedabad and also one of the trusted one. And I would want to mention Karma Foundation and ABC who made this session possible, who brought me and Kajal together. Kajal Hemal Mehta is an author, and today we are going to discuss about her book. She has also written other books, but today we are going to not just launch but get an insight about her latest book, which is Sugar Daddy. So yeah, I mean, I'm really eager. Kajal is from Rajkot, if I'm not wrong, right?
I'm born and brought up in Ahmedabad, but right now Karma Bhumi has been Rajkot.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's
No, so
just been
I'm
3 months
really.
that I moved.
Oh, okay, okay, great. And yeah, if there is anything else, Kajal, that you would like to say that I missed out on, then please. Otherwise, I'm just eager
Uh,
to get inside your head and know more about your process of writing this book. To all those people who have not seen, this is the cover, a beautiful
Sugar Daddy.
cover of Sugar Daddy. Yeah. So yeah, Kajal, is there
Um,
anything else?
my writing journey has always been associated very neatly woven with Ahmedabad Book Club. My first book, Just One More Button Down, which is the global award-winning book, was
Hmm.
also launched in the association with Ahmedabad Book Club and Karma Foundation. My second
Yeah.
book, Co-Authors, which is a bestseller, is also been introduced by Karma Foundation, and now Sugar Daddy. The only difference is we are going virtual this time.
Yeah, yeah, true. And for all those people who have not heard of Ahmedabad Book Club before, I'll just say that it not just promotes young writers, it also gives a platform for publishing books. We also running short of very good publishers who understand the craft of writing, who understand the craft of publishing, and I think ABC also does that. It promotes young authors. It does interviews with established authors, and it brings readers and writers on the same platform. I think I can do a whole session on ABC altogether, but I think we'll keep it for some other day. Today we'll focus on this book and on Kajal's journey on how she wrote this book and what made her write a book on such an unconventional topic. We generally talk about fiction. When it comes to fiction stories, we read about a guy and a girl falling in love, but this is a very different sort of book. The characters introduced in the book are very different. To all those people who have not read the book, obviously, I mean, we are at the launch of it, but I'll just tell you that it's about a central character called Shrikant, who is a bisexual person, and that he is the protagonist of Kajal's book. So, Kajal, tell me, like, what? I hope I'm I'm audible, right?
No, no, yes, very much. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So, Kajal, tell me what made you first of all choose such an unconventional topic, because this is relevant world over. I mean, whether you are writing it from Rajkot or from Ahmedabad, the topic that you have written this book on is relevant across the globe. We want to have more discussion on this topic and just open our brains to the idea of gender, more genders than just male and female.
Janvi, this book Sugar Daddy is based on a story of a bisexual man, and the protagonist is Sridhar, who is bisexual. So he is physically attracted towards females, which is considered very natural and conventional. But he is
Mhm.
attracted towards males as well. Now going back to your question, what made me think about this kind of subject? I would say I felt like it. I crossed the road with somebody who I was very sure had created lots of webs around him, and the webs of lies and the webs
Okay.
of being fake. And that made me think, what can be the reasons? Why would somebody want not to be so real or so open? And after talking to that person, I came across some facts, and that made me think that we need to get vocal about something that societal pressures are creating huge impacts on lives of people who are unconventional. And
Yeah.
that is the subject rose in my mind, and I conceived it in my heart, and that is where Sugar Daddy took place.
Okay, okay. And Kajal agreed that you had a living person from whom you got the inspiration of writing this book. But tell me, what research was put in writing this book? Because it's not just about observation; it's about a lot of things that constitute a book. So, what was your
True.
research? What was your process in coming up with this book?
Uh, when I launched my second book, co-authors, Mr. Ashok Dave suggested me that while we write fiction, sometimes we miss on the research part. We don't try to be very authentic with the information we share in fiction, and that had actually appealed me. And
Hmm.
coincidentally, I happened to conceive this subject. And
Yeah.
the best part, Jani, was I wrote this. Most of the part of this book is written during the lockdown, so I got a
Hmm.
lot of spare time to communicate to people. I have
Okay.
spoken to three real life characters.
Hmm.
They are not bisexuals, but they
Hmm.
are from different sexuality. So the
Yeah.
society has normed if you are straight, a man is attracted to a woman and a woman is attracted to man. That is
Yeah.
considered as normal. So I have
Yeah.
spoken to three real life people who don't fall into that normal bracket of laid down by society. I have
Yeah.
tried to grab their experiences. I have attached myself them to their life,
Hmm.
their struggles inside and outside both. That
Yeah.
is has helped me a lot to be as real or as authentic I can be in my fiction as well.
Hmm. True, true, true. Yeah. And Kajal, I mean, generally it is said about books that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover or by its title. But I couldn't restrain myself from judging this book by its title and its cover. I mean, the title itself is it's something that made me think, because in Indian context, something like Sugar Daddy or something like Sugar Mommy is not something which people know about, or if they know, they wouldn't want to talk about it. There is so much stigma around this reality of life. So did you have
True.
second thoughts when you were fixing on this name, like before putting this title on the cover page of your book? Did you have second thoughts?
Ever since my first book got out, Dani, I was very clear that I will not box myself or I'll not cage myself as a writer, because
Hmm.
we all, each of us in our real life, somewhere, think
Hmm.
about others or think about the reaction of other people, the
Hmm.
way we dress, the way we behave, the
Hmm.
kind of profession we choose, and many other things. So I was
Hmm.
very clear that my fiction will never be restrained just by fear how society will react or how other people will perceive. So no second thoughts ever. No, whatever I write is uh, is just like pouring my heart, and that has really helped me. I have been associated. I've come across lots of readers who love my work, and this makes me very happy. So it
Yeah.
makes me feel little also.
Hmm. Okay,
So no
okay.
ever.
Okay, so you, and that's the reason that you chose the title. Yeah.
Not just the title but the subject as well.
Subject, yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, the subject, title, everything is something that doesn't give you
No, even
answers,
the
but they make you question. They make you just pause and just think about where we are heading to, what's our idea of humanity, and how inclusive we are as humans.
correct, correct, correct.
Yeah.
So very rightly said how you know how human we are while writing this, and while I was thinking that what exactly is the message that I want to convey. That these days we all human are being very busy discriminating the things. We have
Hmm.
discrimination in terms of color, we discriminate on body size, we discriminate on religion, and now we are fighting about Dhoni fan and Kohli fan, coffee and chai. So everybody is, we people want to make groups, and that is where
Hmm.
sexuality becomes a very sensitive subject. So
Okay. Okay.
the gays, the lesbians, the bisexuals, the sapiosexuals.
Hmm.
So these people are, they are being made feel like aliens and
Yeah.
alien as a human being who is just
Hmm.
one of us is very inhuman. And this is what I want to be vocal about. Don't judge people based on their sexuality or their genders. We really
Hmm.
need to attach them on the basis of their intellect, their values, their morals, their contribution, um, and so on and so forth, but not
Yeah.
on the basis of their gender or their sexuality. It really doesn't affect us any which ways.
Okay. Okay. And then, Kajal, I was reading an interview by Dan Brown, the author of Da Vinci Code. And in one of his interviews, he said that I write because that's the only thing I know to do. So, like every writer has different reasons for writing. Some write to entertain people, some write to maybe just get the title of being an author, some write to make a difference. So, tell me, what was your reason to write and especially write this book? Because it to me, it's also activism. To me, it's also challenging the politics of today's society. To me, it's also supporting the LGBT. There are so many reasons or so many things that come to my mind when I read your book. So, what was your idea? Why you chose to write?
See, writing started like it happened to me. I'm not very sure whether you are aware of my profile. I'm a certified image consultant, and from 2010, I have been consuming lots of individuals, giving them makeovers. I have been doing lots of corporate trainings and such kind of
Hmm.
stuff. But writing happened to me to address lots of emotions I used to carry home during my work life. I will meet lots of people, and then they will ignite lots of emotions, lots of thoughts, and
Hmm.
sometimes they were under addressed or they were not addressed as much as I thought it should be. So that is
Hmm.
where my writing started taking place. But you are very right. When I chose this subject and when Sugar Daddy was in the editing phase, I realized that maybe this is kind of activism or maybe this is kind of challenging society as a whole. People may not like it. Um,
Yeah.
but then I thought this is a time, after doing two successful books, getting lots of love from readers and all, it was a time that, I use my writing skills and give it a purpose.
Yeah.
So I never hesitated. So never second thoughts. I was just
Yeah.
worried that people should not think I'm challenging them or I'm trying to portray myself one up. But then I thought,
Hmm.
no, it's not going to be like that.
Yeah, yeah, true. I mean, it's Kajal. It's so interesting to know that there is a purpose. There is in subtle way, a way of activism through your words, and that's your idea of writing this book. I think that we need more writers who would want to question the society and reflect it instead of just putting people on pedestal and pampering their egos. So yeah, I really love that side of yours.
Thank
And
you.
and Kajal, I'm currently reading this book called Girl, Woman, Other. It's a Booker Prize winner book,
Okay.
and it has it's a book full of very complex characters, very different characters than we usually see. And one of the things that I read in the book is about a privilege scale. So she is
Hmm.
mentioned, the author is a female, and she is mentioning about a Muslim girl, wearing a hijab, and she read that on a privilege scale, she's poor, she's woman, she's Muslim, and she's uneducated. So she just wrote that these all things make her fall very less on the privilege scale that the society has. And talking about your characters of the book, Shrikant, I think that the LGBT or the bisexual also fall very low on the privilege scale that unfortunately our society has created. So I just want to know that what your idea on this whole LGBTQ movement or the LGBTQ treatment in India.
Uh, after Cleaner happened to me or after Sugar Daddy happened to me, during that process of writing this book for almost 1 year, starting from conceiving the idea and then finally saying, okay, this is the ready manuscript. In
Yeah,
between, I have realized one thing and which has triggered a slow kind of pain in my heart, which is, going through all the time. Why do people need to fight for the basic right? LGBT
yeah,
community. Why do we call community? We are human beings, and
Yeah.
I think if um, I call the superpower who has made all of us as Almighty. So
Hmm.
if he wanted all of us to be same, he had all the powers to do it. Now, if he
Yeah.
has designed all of us to be different, why do we make fuss out of it, and why do we make boxes, or why do we make groups of people? Why do we even need feminism? Why do we
Hmm.
even need equal religion rights? Why do we need to create a community saying this is LGBT community? But now, as it is there, um,
True.
I'm too small a person to affect the whole world as such. But my only point of view, or my only affection, my only emotion about the whole thing is I really want to see that someday we will see everybody being evaluated on grounds which really makes a sensible difference. Like as in I was referring that we need to evaluate people based on their intellect.
Yeah.
अभी थोड़े दिन पहले कपिल शर्मा में जब लक्ष्मी नारायण त्रिपाठी जी when she was there, he said
Hmm.
that I don't want people to be interested in my bedroom story. आप मुझे मेरी लैंगिकता या मेरी सेक्सुअलिटी के
Very.
बेसिस पे जज मत करें. See
Hmm.
the way I
I'm much more
contribute in society. And I think that is what those words, those two lines has really affected. She said, hold my
yeah.
message into, and
True.
I was very impressed by the way she presented her work. So that's what I mean. That is what I feel
Yeah.
about this groupism, that this is LGBT community and this is that.
Yeah.
I think we need it.
True. True. Yeah, I think what we all need is to be treated as humans, first and foremost.
It's
And
so simple and basic.
yeah, how difficult, or is that a big ask to? I mean, just be have
I
the
cannot
basic
feel
human
the difference.
rights. Yeah. And then Kajal, also tell me that as this topic is very personal to you, as you are really attached to this topic, so would you want to take your idea or your subtle activism ahead in any other way? I mean, beyond this book, is are there any thoughts in your head? Like, how would you want to take this ahead?
See, I don't consider myself as an activist. For to
Hmm.
become an activist, one needs to be very, very strong from within. One needs to be very well connected politically as
Yeah.
well. Uh, but I don't fear that I don't have lots of political connections, or I'm not very like I'm not like a gladiator kind of person who will fight across the whole world. But this is my effort to talk to people. This is
Yeah.
my way of doing and talking to people that uh, I always tell after Sugar Daddy happened and after I finished writing it, I have been talking to lots of people saying that हम लोग बच्चों के लिए बड़े बड़े मकान छोड़ के जाना चाहते हैं, हम बहुत सारी उनके लिए बेस्ट छोड़ के जाना चाहते हैं. अब ग्लोबली वी आर ट्राइंग के ग्लोबल वार्मिंग कम हो, ये सब हम कर रहे हैं. आर
True.
वी वर्किंग टू लीव अ बेटर एंड हेल्थियर सोसाइटी फॉर
Yeah.
देम?
True.
So where we all be equal, where we will consider every human as a human being, that is going to be a healthier society. And for that, I continue talking to people. That is my way of taking this message to as many people as I can.
Okay.
And if
Okay.
I get an opportunity to, you know, to talk to more number of people on any podium, I'm willing to do that.
Yeah, and Kajal, I'm sure that anyone who reads your book, I mean, through your book, you will definitely start a conversation, an indirect
True.
conversation around this topic, and it might make us question our own moral standards. So I think that you're very successful at that now that I've read the book. And then one thing that I also felt after reading your book was that the characters that you have carved in your book really stay with you. I mean, they are very distinct, or they're very strong in their persona. So tell me a little about your process of bringing characters to life. Like, how do you do that? Because there must be many aspiring writers who might be watching us who would want an insight in your head on how do you create characters. In fact, for this book or for the other books that you have written, I mean, what's your process? Like, do you observe people go in a cafe, or how does it happen?
That's an interesting question, but I think lots of when I started writing and my first book was published, lots of people asked me that who do you read? And I said, I read people. I have not read lots of authors, which is very candid statement to make, but yet I have not read lots of books. I have not read many
Hmm.
bestsellers. Yes, I read, not that I have not read at all, but I'm not well read. Don't have I have
Yeah.
not read thousands of books, but I have read lots of people. And
Yeah.
I think that is my way of reading life. That is my way of reading characters. And they stay with me. So the portion that has appealed me, it stays in
Hmm.
my mind and in my heart. And
Hmm.
then when I find a character, when I start building up a character
Hmm.
before writing a book, all those traits which I have borrowed from the people whom I've come across starts coming
Hmm.
out, and I
Yeah.
shape up a character. That is the best way, pick up the qualities and just the more you attach to individuals, the more everybody whom you come across, if you pay attention to them, you find lots of ways and means you can shape better characters.
True. 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 Yeah, think that that is very interesting on having your own personal, what to say, personal observation on the people around you and picking up traits from them and then maybe bringing it out in your characters.
I would say I have a bank. I have lockers in my bank. So I have,
Oh,
let's say, 100 characters. I have 100 characters observed and they are stored in different lockers. So I
oh,
pull
okay.
them out whenever I need them. And
Yeah,
um, I'm so attached to them that they always help me to design a
yeah,
very strong and a good character.
yeah. Kajal, I hope there is something to observe in me also. I hope in one of the books you write in future,
I
you
will
might have a
also
girl.
meet you and I will definitely put you in my locker. Would love to. I like strong-headed individual women who have their own individual personalities.
Oh, thank you
Maybe
so much.
someday
So
we will.
generous of you. No, no, but I was. Yes, so Kajal, when it comes to talking about writers, there is also this khayali idea that writers are all those people who write when the mood comes, they don't write. But I strongly feel that writing is one thing and being a published author is very different. Once you finished with the manuscript or the first draft of your book, I think that the whole ball game of publishing your book or marketing your book is a different headache. It demands a different type of talent. It demands a lot of efforts. So give us a brief on how did you publish and especially publish this book. I mean, was it challenging, was it not?
Yes, sorry. Sorry, I missed your question. There was some disconnection
Yeah,
in between. So you were
yeah.
talking about things.
Yeah, yeah. I understand that you have already other books published of yours, but how has been your journey as being a published writer?
See, to be very honest, I have not put in lots of efforts to market my books
Okay.
because I don't know, it just happened. तब
Hmm.
इतना टाइम भी नहीं था और फिर वो एक्सपीरियंस भी नहीं था और मुझे लग रहा था कि बीइंग एन ऑथर आप कैसे दूसरों के पास जाओगे कि यार मेरा बुक पढ़ो, तो हेजिटेशन भी था। और
Huh.
टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट क्या होता है कि व्हेन यू आर ऑलरेडी एस्टैब्लिश्ड इन वन फील्ड, सो एज एन इमेज कंसल्टेंट देयर आर लॉट्स ऑफ पीपल हु लुक अप टू मी, यू हैव ऑलरेडी प्रूवन
Yeah.
योरसेल्फ इन वन इंडस्ट्री, और
Yeah.
फिर दूसरी इंडस्ट्री में जाके टू बी ऑन द डिमांडिंग साइड थोड़ा सा वो
Yeah.
एक ऑड फील हो रहा था।
Hmm.
Fortunately, with God's grace, I have got lots of podiums जहाँ पे I got the chance to go and talk to people. I have
Yeah.
attended both the Gujarati Literature festivals. And,
Hmm.
of course, social media is very handy, and you can
Hmm.
connect to lots of people.
True.
So it just started happening, and after just one more button down was the kind of love it received from the readers of Gujarat, and then it started going outside of Gujarat also because of its content. I was not limited to the audience or readers of Gujarat. So
Okay.
I have been receiving love in very natural way. Obviously, you cannot just sit back and say that I'll not do anything. People
Yeah.
let me read my book. I do my best to reach to them, but I have needed to put rigorous efforts to do it. On secondly, and on second note, I don't. crave to become a bestseller. तो
Okay.
वो
Okay.
मुझे कभी अंदर से नहीं ऐसा है कि if my work is good, if I have written something which is worth giving a read, people will read it. And it is happening. So it has just been a month, but the reviews I'm receiving for Sugar Daddy is very overwhelming. So I think it is God's grace. So I
Okay.
don't need too much of effort to reach to people, but I don't stop myself from doing it.
Okay. No, no, I think, Kajal, what is most important for any person is to just tell their story with the utmost truth. And I think you
Exactly.
have done that successfully.
Yeah.
And I think the job of a writer ends there. I mean, when their story is just out and everything else is just maybe luck or just depends on the readership. Yeah, so I think that's all secondary.
You were
But
right.
you,
You were right
yeah,
when you
you
said
have
you
been.
feel it,
Hmm.
because right now the world is so competitive, and ahead of me there are so much of senior and wonderful writers who has published their fantastic work. So I cannot consider myself being at par with them. I put in
Hmm.
effort, but I don't have to go mad and rigorous and restless about it. It is just like a mixture of the kindness of the stars and a little bit of efforts that I put to reach to people.
Okay. And Kajal, how much time did it take for you to finish this book? Because for most authors or for most aspiring authors, it is easy to start writing a book, but it's difficult to end it.
True.
So, could you please tell us that it took you how much time, and was it excruciating to sit before an empty word page and write, or did it come naturally to you? How was it?
So for me, it's like, whenever I conceive a subject and then I start writing and till the time I finish, it's like a
Hmm.
vacation for me. You are very excited when you're going for the vacation, very excited packing the bags and all.
Yeah.
So until the time you come back from the vacation, you are in that jovial mood, enjoying yourself. So for me, writing a book is like something which I always look forward to do.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it's been very easy. Sugar Daddy has been 1 year journey, almost 1 year journey for me, starting from the title to the end. It has been almost a year's journey, but it has been a
Okay.
wonderful, wonderful journey. I never feel tired. I never feel burdened because फर्स्ट ड्राफ्ट हो जाने के बाद का जो प्रोसेस होता है जब बहुत बार एडिटिंग करनी पड़ती है वहां पे शायद
Hmm.
थोड़ा सा
Yeah.
जो नए लोग होते हैं उनके लिए इट माइट बी टायरिंग बट आई थिंक दैट इज द बेस्ट पार्ट यू सी योर weaknesses, you see your loopholes, you see the weaker parts of the story, and a good author or a good writer will not want to go the draft with
Yeah.
any kind of angst in it.
Yeah. And Kajal, I would also want to show. Let me just. I'm not sure if it's visible to
The chapters.
but in your book you mentioned yeah, chapters. So you have
Hmm.
mentioned chapters. So tell me about this writing style, and why did you choose to divide it in 15 chapters, and like are you sticking to this style of writing, or wait, what makes you comfortable with this style of writing? Because just to understand the technicalities of being a writer, because I'm personally interested in knowing the process.
See, chapters is because sometimes you are taking a journey of one person. Let's say sometimes it is from the childhood to their end of life. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just about 1 year. But one
Hmm.
year is broken in 12 months. पहले महीने में कुछ हुआ, फिर दूसरे महीने में कुछ हुआ, तीसरे महीने में कुछ हुआ, and so forth. So when you
Okay.
write in chapters, you know where to break. Otherwise, one month will be very lengthy, and the second month will not get enough of importance. You might miss some important events that happened in second month. So when you break it into chapters, you
Months,
know
yeah, yeah.
that every story or every part of the story has its own importance. And while
And everything is getting justice.
yes, everything gets enough attention, everything is justified, and you don't confuse the reader or you don't even bore them. So technically, it is like that. You have to limit yourself to one event. You cannot elaborate one event, or this is my understanding. I would not like to elaborate one event for 50 pages and baki ke 50 event baki ke 50 page mein. So I want the reader to enjoy themselves the whole journey in a very synchronized way.
True, 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 true.
And
Very interesting.
one more
And
thing is, sorry, one more thing is
no, no,
putting
please.
the chapters
Mm.
in index is like sometimes you finish yourself reading the second chapter and you want to go to third, so it's easy to go to the index. That's the only
Yeah. True, 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 true. And then, Kajal, apart from this, tell me, like, is there any other topic that you are inclined towards addressing or writing in future? Because this has been one very essential, crucial, inevitable issue that you are addressing. But is there anything else that you would also would want to speak about?
so there are
As an,
3 4 other subjects that are on my mind, but I'm writing one book which is based on a real life of somebody. So this person approached me and he said that I have a subject which you might be interested in writing, and I want you to write my story. So we'll not call it a biography, but it's a real life story of a person, and it is on the verge of finishing. So once I finish that, there are 3 very sensitive subjects that I would like to write about. Um, but I'm not very sure which one will trigger first and which
okay,
one I'll pick up.
okay. You, which one you'll pick up? But whatever that's on your mind and whatever that you wish to write in future, I wish you all the very best.
Thank you so
And
much. Thank you so very much.
yeah, and Kajal, as a yeah, I'm getting a question. From where did you get your research done for Sugar Daddy? There is Prutha who is asking this question on Facebook. If you would want to answer it, though I've covered that question, but still, if you would want
But
to,
in brief, because she might have joined us later.
yeah,
Prutha, I did not do lots of technical research on it, but yes, I understood different kind of sexuality prevailing. So it is not just homosexuality that we have only gays and lesbians around us. There are very different kind of sexual orientations that prevails around us. And what I researched is I have talked to 3 individuals who are living their life with their unconventional sexual orientation, and unke experiences helped me to write my book. And of course this is
yeah,
not some kind of documentary whereas I need the real facts, so you just evolve
yeah,
around your fiction which are derived from some facts around you.
true. And okay, there is another thing that another question that I can see. What do you think about acceptance of queers from society in Gujarat? Gujarat LGBTQ, wouldn't say community, but what would you say about their acceptance?
um, See, this is where I want to be vocal, or this is where I want to connect to more number of people. The day we will understand that, you know, leaving a happier and healthier society for our generations to come is as simple and as normal as we can think, that accept every individual as human being. It's not just about Gujarat. It is not just about Gujarat. One of the person who has given lots of valuable inputs to me for this book belongs. He is an Indian, but he is based in London right now. He said, "I ran away from India to London with hopes that I'll have more acceptance there, but his expectations were really wrong." So I think गुजरात के बारे में नहीं है, ये सब जगह पे है. सारे ह्यूमन बीइंग एक ही डिफिकल्टी से पसार हो रहे हैं, एक ही डिफिकल्टी से पास हो रहे हैं. So the day we will realize that, let every individual grow as a human being, that day it's going to be very very easy for all of us to accept anything which is unconventional.
And Kajal, I would also want to add to this that as a reader of this book, all I can say that choosing a very important topic, I mean, that's a great job begin, but it's also important to do justice with it, to write it sensibly so that people can connect to it instead of being angry or instead of being pissed on what's written. So I think that you've written it very sensibly so that the people who are from the LGBTQ community, or even who are not. I think that both can connect so well to the characters, to the sensibility of the book. So yeah, I think that's another thing that I would like to congratulate you about.
As you have read the book, I have not given, or I
Yeah, you're not giving.
never intended to look Sridhar Bichara Bichara. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have
yeah.
shown all his shrewdness. I have shown his gray side. Just
Hmm.
wanted to tell people that this is the impact. He became
Yeah,
so fake, and he got trapped in his own world of lies just because he
yeah.
feared how society is going to
True.
react towards this fact. But not that I have tried to be a very sympathetical person. I have tried to create empathy, or I have tried to trigger empathy in the hearts of the
Yeah.
readers.
And you've defined the character with much more traits than just his sexuality, and that was so interesting. That yeah,
Exactly.
he's this person, but he's
I mean, I
also
just
this,
wanted
and
to
he's
be a
also
soft
this.
one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's something that we need to learn in our everyday life, that people are not just the sexual preferences, but they are much
True.
more. Yeah.
Exactly.
True, true, true. I mean, Kajal, is there anything that you think I missed out on that you would like to add about your book? Because there must be many people who would now want to pick up your book and yeah, would read. So, is there anything that you would like to add as an author?
It is just that these are my honest best efforts to understand the life of people who are unconventional with their sexuality, and I really want people to understand that how difficult we, all of us as a society, has made to be part of a normal regular life, जहाँ पे कोई बंदा सच बोल सकता है कि हाँ मैं गे हूँ, मैं लेस्बियन हूँ, मैं ट्रांसजेंडर हूँ, या whatever their unconventional sexual attributes are, we just have to look at to them. So this is my effort to make people understand that if we will not uh, ease out this kind of communication, then our children are also going to perceive every individual under this boxes or within these brackets only, and then they will
Yeah,
also be pushed to the world of lies. So the only thing
true,
that, please read the book with the eye of a very humble human being, and try to understand the struggle that we all put these people into.
true, true, true. I think just more power to you and to
Thank
all
you.
those people who are making efforts to at least start the conversation. As I said at the beginning of our interaction, that yeah, it is much needed to bring a level playing field for people where they are not judged on just a certain trait, but they are seen as a totality, as a human. So yeah, I hope this book brings a difference, or at least starts a conversation. And yeah, if there are any other questions, I think that readers can also directly connect to Kajal, right? I mean, Kajal,
Yes, my
or
Facebook page and my Instagram pages are always open to receive the question. One more thing, because Ahmedabad Book Club has lots of young followers, and lots of young
yeah,
people are connected to this club. I will just want to
hmm,
say that it is a time that the youth is getting very smart, and they are really open to look at the social issues with very new approach, and that is where I want to tell them that it is a time to, you know uh, when you pick up a book, it is a time to look beyond the regular love stories. The love stories are always there, they make us happy and then they make us
yeah,
feel emotional, but it is a time that we start picking up the book which has been written on different subjects. That is where the youth, because it's only youth which will be able to bring the change.
yeah.
So
I
please
think yours,
read Sugar Daddy, and I will really
yeah,
want to address your questions or your views and reviews on it.
yeah. I think Kajal, your book is also a love story, but it's about falling in love with yourself and accepting
Correct.
that yes, I'm this, and
True.
it's all right. Yeah.
True. It's
So yeah,
all right. Yeah.
it's all right. Yeah. So yeah, I think that to conclude, I would once again thank Ahmedabad Book Club and Karma Foundation for bringing us all together, the viewers, me as a moderator, and to
You
Kajal
are a
Mehta.
wonderful, wonderful moderator. Excellent. I
No,
would.
no, I hope, Kajal, I hope I did justice to the book.
You did.
And
You just have been a very comfortable. You addressed. You have read the book, which I appreciate the most because I've not seen lots of moderators who will put in efforts to read the book before moderating a session.
yeah, that's my job as a interviewer. so,
But
so
still,
yeah, and
not
also,
really done it with so much of honesty.
oh, thank you so much. So generous of you. And yeah, I think that the conversation ends here. The Facebook Live ends here, but you can always connect to Kajal, bring your questions there, and I hope you read much more about LGBTQ community, their questions, their issues, and let us all try to be better humans. I think we can end with this, right, Kajal? Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you so much.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so much.
Ahmedabad Book Club. Thank you, Karma Foundation, for this.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you. Bye bye.